Alright guys, my name is Pete. This is my channel 1822 MC Adventures and More, and today I'm going to talk about my river country products, Trekker 2.2. I've had it for over a year now, and if you've seen the prior video of what I think about this tent, not many changes have happened. I've just made some improvements. I'm very happy with the tent. For 50 bucks, you ain't going to get a better tent. I just don't think so. Not brand new in the box, made in America. What I'm still doing the same, I'm still using the bag it came in, works great. I'm still using a piece of Tyvek for a ground cloth and a vapor barrier. And I'm still using a piece of heavy duty tarp for a doormat. Right now it's folded in half. I can fold it out twice as long. Works out great. As a matter of fact, last night I laid it out over by the fire, and then between my leather jacket laying up against my wood pile and my kneeling slash sitting slash backpack pad, I laid by the fire. I was real comfortable, and I was using my rain fly as a backdrop because it was a little windy, and man, it got down to 25 degrees and 26 degrees, something like that, and with my rain fly set up as a windbreak, it was reflecting the heat. It was great. Anyways, before I digress off into something weird, back to the tent. I've had it for over a year now. The only thing I had to do to it was I did seam the seals and I waterproofed it. No matter what you pay for a tent, you need to do that. Just common sense, period. Common sense, end of story on that. So you need a vapor barrier to protect, even though that's a nice heavy duty floor, a vapor barrier slash ground cloth will do you a world of good. Ground cloth is self-explanatory. The vapor barrier, look it up. It's very important. I am still using my Swiss Army poles. I bought 4 of them for like $18.99. They came with 4 bags, 4 poles, and 4 stakes per bag. And originally, I was in fact using the Swiss stakes, but they're just too big and heavy. So now I'm using the spikes that came with the tent, and my rain fly, I'm using these little, I don't know what you call them, those spikes, little nail pegs, whatever they are, but they're working pretty good. I still like the Swiss Army pegs. They're strong, they're heavy duty, but heavy duty translates to big and bulky, so I've decommissioned them down to day hiking only for setting up a shady tarp, something like that, but it's working out pretty good. So back to what I was saying. What I am doing different is I've got 2 front lines out here, because one of the main purposes of me using a double set of poles up front was I didn't want to weasel around a trekking pole, because I don't use a trekking pole, even though this is a great tent to use trekking poles or a ridge line or your own poles, carve them out of a dead limb, right? But now the whole front's open, completely open. So I got my 2 guidelines here, running my double pole out. Really liking that. That is really working out great for me. Other than that, everything's the same as it was a year ago. I'm just using lighter stakes. And I'm using a different system here. And normally I do have my rain fly set up, but I knew that last night it was only going to get cold. It wasn't going to rain. So if you're looking at wanting to buy one of these tents, I highly recommend it. For 50 bucks and some sealer and waterproofer, I don't think there's a better deal out there. When you think about it, you could spend a lot more money on a tent and it'll still leak. You'll still have to waterproof it. So if you like the classic vintage design of this tent, do it. It's only 50 bucks. You won't regret it. Seriously, you're just going to have to put a little time in to waterproof it. And as a matter of fact, I think so highly of this tent that I'm looking at some other products that these people sell, and I'm just about ready to pull the trigger on that. And if I do, you guys will be the very first to know. So with that being said, let me roll it up, and one more time, I highly recommend this tent. I will give it a 10 out of a 10, even though you do have to seal it up. still, it's a great tent. With a little tweaking to your own style of camping, you just can't go wrong. The only thing I don't like about it is because I'm 6'5", I can't move around in it really good like you can in a dome tent. But if you don't mind getting dressed laying down, or if you're a short enough person that you can sit up without touching the sides, it's an awesome tent. Awesome tent. Can't say enough about it. So, my name is Pete. This is my channel, 1822 MC Adventures and More. And like I said, I can highly recommend this tent right here. River Country Products Trekker 2.2. You're just going to have to seal it up like you would any other tent. Alrighty guys, so here it is. River Country Products Trekker 2.2 tent. Rolled up nice and tight. My cheap rain fly, which I may be upgrading in the future. My ground cloth, Tyvek house wrap. Stakes and elastic balls for the rain fly. And my poles. And if my other tarp was here, this would be my ridge line for that, and a couple extra stakes. But yeah, here's my basic River Country 2.2 tent setup. Works for me. If I was backpacking, would this work? Obviously not. I'd have to use some trekking poles and just weasel around the trekking pole. But I put this stuff on my motorcycle so I can carry the weight, and it works for me. I like being able to crawl out the whole front door and not trip over any cords or anything. So yeah, after a year, very happy. It is what it is. It's a $50 tent with a couple of mods. But know this, if you buy this tent, you need to seal your seams and waterproof it. It's just common sense. You know, you could buy a $500 tent and it would leak like a sieve without waterproofing. Or you can buy a $50 tent and it might leak. But I can assure you, if I bought a $500 tent and it leaked, I'd be 10 times more pissed off than if I bought a $50 tent and it leaked. But with that being said, money well spent. I'm very happy with it. If you're thinking about buying this tent, I get nothing out of it. And they don't even know who I am. But I highly recommend this tent. So with that being said, this is my year in review of this River Country Trekker 2.2 pup tent. Happy trails, whether you're walking or riding or driving or even hitchhiking, whatever. Happy trails.